Hello, my name is Erik Subatis, and this is my final project for GD50, Harvard's Intro to Game Development for summer 2019. My final project used the Mario 50 code as sort of a loose base to implement a game inspired by the game Lemmings. In case you're not familiar with Lemmings, it was sort of a classic puzzle platformer where these little lemmings would spawn out of a entrance door. Your goal was to guide them to this exit door, but the catch was you did not have direct control over the little lemmings, and so they'd sort of wander back and forth mindlessly, possibly dying on the way. So we had a set of tools to make them do things like dig and climb and so on to get them safely to the end. So if we fire up my game, it's sort of a sci-fi take on Lemmings called Drones, where we're saving robots instead of lemmings. So here we're on the title screen, have some catchy music to go with it. If we hit enter, we go to a countdown, and then we end up in the level. The robots will spawn out of this indoor, and our goal is to get them to this exit door. You can see they start walking right away. If they fall too far, they will perish here at the bottom. I'll glide a couple down safely, just to illustrate that the other way for them to die is to hit these spikes, which can be anywhere in the level. And if we lose too many robots, we will of course end up with game over. So I'll go ahead and start over. The goal of the game is to get a certain number of robots to the exit door safely. So that's displayed here. Here's how many robots we have total. For this level, we'll simply help them glide down using this umbrella tool, which sort of halves gravity. Another tool we have available is to set up these little blocks. And so by clicking that, they'll become stationary, which will allow them to kind of bounce harmlessly off of the block and head to the exit door. You can see down here, as they hit the exit door, they will disappear, and our saved number will go up until we hit our goal, and ultimately advance us to the next level. So back to the countdown screen and on to level 2. The third tool I chose to implement is a bomb tool, which will make them instantly explode and destroy any destructible tiles in their way. So as a design choice, I chose to make these plain blocks the destructible tiles. For the most part, other things are not destructible. So here you can see I'll guide them along. I'll set up block here so they don't hit these spikes. The last little behavior I set up is for them to jump. If you click on them with no tool selected, that was sort of a relic from my testing, but I thought it was a fun little twist on Lemmings, so I left it in there. And so last but not least, here we have to do a little multitasking to safely guide them down here. And so I'll go ahead and do this. So this will take a minute. But if you're just here watching the gameplay, that's most of the gameplay. I'll go ahead and play through the end of this level and the third level just to show the victory screen. As we wait for the last of these robots to get saved, I suppose I'll point out that some logical next steps would have been to do things like implement a way to design the levels more efficiently. Just for the purposes of the project, I went ahead and hard-coded these levels. The game also lacks a pause feature. That could be pretty useful. So here we're on to level 3. And so I'll just go ahead and play through this one. The game also doesn't really store too many things as you go along. One could envision doing things like remembering the total number of robots saved. I'm pretty sure the old Lemmings also rewarded you for saving, say, more robots than the goal required you to. So potentially a lot of fun possibilities to expand on the game. But here I'll set up this last little block. We'll let the robots save themselves here at the exit tour, and then we'll view the victory screen. But while this finishes up, just say thanks to the GD50 staff. It was a wonderful course, and I learned a ton. If anyone wants to see the code for this game, I also made my repo public on GitHub. I'll display the URL for that in just a second. But here you can see when we get through all 3 levels, we get a little sound, you saved us, and if we want, we can head on back to the beginning. But like I said, everything's public on GitHub. Just my username, Subatis /Games50 final project. But once again, thanks for watching my demo, and thank you GD50 staff for a great course.